Oh god. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really fucking sorry. Uh yeah, this guy's YouTube channel, Seth the Programmer. You've probably heard that name quite a few times. He's a YouTube anime comparison examination analyst channel that he just does a versus anime character type deal, and um his channel's been around since 2009. Majority of his videos that are up from 5 years ago. There are some that are even older that are gone or lost, and he's come back and disappeared and come back over the years. I don't know how many videos he's actually deleted. I don't really avidly follow this guy's channel a whole lot often, but I am aware of one aspect in that in my earlier days on YouTube back in the pre-2010s, I actually avidly followed this guy. I actually kind of liked the content that he was putting out. Didn't necessarily mean that I was probably gonna personally like the guy. You know what I mean? Like it's there's some of those things, and I skimmed through these gaslighters. Um, there's only a couple friends doing it right now, but I'm pretty sure within the coming next few days, there's gonna be more videos about this popping up for whatever the fuck reason. Now you could just say that, Maris, you're just clout chasing at this point. Not really, considering this is something I've watched over the years, um, avidly. Not like daily, but like there are a lot of YouTube recommendations that I get, and one of them was this couple gaslight videos. I was just like, what the fuck is Seth the Programmer done? Like, I almost forgot about this guy, you know? Like, I thought this guy vanished from fucking Space Dust Society or some shit. Like, I didn't know where the fuck he went. But, today is Such Bullshit Podcast, episode 38, where I talk about Seth the Programmer basically getting gaslighted. I'm gonna switch over to our viewing, the ability to sit here, and this is my analytics, have fun with that, don't care for my stream health because I just started the stream. There was no announcement, no nothing. We're over at his channel right now, and you can see it's all these, anime versus videos, comparisons, like what is Aizen's Bankai probably, and I don't actively watch this shit most of the time. Some of the time I just kind of expect like a leak in like a series that I've been actively watching, like, oh, maybe the 1,000-year blood war for Bleach will fucking leak Aizen's Bankai finally, and some anime YouTuber extraordinaire leaks that online. I get to see it early, and I'm like, oh, I don't even have to read the book now. I know what it is. But half the time, I basically just get japed, and I end up clicking the video anyway. And then I'm like, fuck it, not recommend it for me. And yet, YouTube recommends it back to me because I'm a fucking geek. So yeah, let's skip this channel for right now. But the dude almost has like a million subs. He's been around since fucking 2009. Like I said, this guy's been around the block. I don't know what is going on with his Twitter. I'm not gonna go over there. I just want to click over these two videos from his apparent friends. Now, when you got your friends gaslighting and doxing, if you're the friends and you said this video has been in the making for years, which I see that so much fucking commonly, is like, this video has been in the making for the years. Okay, I don't know if that could be seen, but yeah, you look at that, it's like, dude, why didn't you just walk away from this guy years ago then? If he annoyed you so much and you didn't like him as a person, why did you stick around? It was for the money, right? Because, looking at Noodle's YouTube sub count right here and then comparing it to the 938, I think, K fucking channel, the 1 million channel, like, it's a no fucking brainer. They wanted in on that paper, basically. But there was little snippets that I took out of these fucking multi-hour long videos that are like almost altogether 4 hours, which I think is fucking insane. That these YouTubers got so emotional that they put over fucking 30 minutes of fucking time into analyzing something, which If you really want to, and I'm just professionally saying this, if you want to put somebody to shame because they fucking deserve it, because they're pieces of shit and they were your friend, cut that shit down to 30 minutes. Do your best that you can. Don't fucking stretch it out to 2.5 hours, man. I'm not gonna sit here and basically watch the length of a fucking Harry Potter movie, you know? It's kind of insane to me. Let me go over again. I just wanted to check my statistics as I wasn't really looking, but I'm gonna play this clip. Don't copyright me. I don't give a fuck noodle. Just listen to it.
And even phone number exposed to Discord users filled with doxers and sketchy people. He doxed my town and my workplace. He tried to destroy me financially, both on YouTube and at Little Caesars. And he wanted to ruin my ass.
He doxed you at fucking Little Caesars? Okay, first of all, I wouldn't take this group Discord chat photo remotely fucking serious, because here's why. Anybody could go on fucking the Google version, the Chrome version of Discord, and sign in on, Windows, not through the actual downloaded app. Make a whole new account under a VPN. Make it look exactly like Seth's. Join in on a group with the person that they know, and forge an entire fake conversation just as easily. Now, I'm not saying that this is the case here. Maybe this is a legit actual photo. But I'm saying it's so remotely easy to make this shit up that it's not really funny. Anybody could do this. That's like basically trolling 101 is impersonation. Like, it could be very fucking easy. I could basically be Seth in every one of these instances. Anybody could. It only takes 5 seconds to open up your phone, go into fucking Google Chrome, go into discord.gg, make a whole new fucking account right through the phone app, and not actually use the app itself, and then just make a whole new account. Because there's no restrictions, and you could say, well, maybe there's phone verification. No. That still doesn't stop you from making an impersonation account. It really doesn't. And that's something that is an issue on Discord very avidly, and nobody really gives a shit for it.
All because he heard a rumor that I was going to drop an exposed video. I don't even care if I was going to drop an exposed video. These kinds of reactions are completely unjustified and horrifically immoral. If you guys have...
So I don't know about that, but to sit there and if you're already willing to walk away from the guy, why make an expose video, you know? Like, if you don't want to be his friend anymore, just walk the fuck away. Let me make an actual comparison here to this situation, alright? I personally didn't give a shit when a good 3 or 4 of my friends tried to expose me. Didn't give a shit. What I ended up doing was I contacted the FBI, got that shit fucking handled, because they were basically sending people after my family and friends. I wasn't living with my family and parents. They ended up sending an FBI SWAT team to my parents' house when I wasn't even living there. And that's when it got to the point where I spent quietly the last 2 years in the works with the federal government to basically say, hey, look, we got to step up doxing. Here's these assholes doing this. They're impersonating this. And they were just pretending to be friendly and this, that, and that. And they're threatening all my friends, not just myself, but my family. And, it got to the point where they started just claiming that they didn't know anything. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't stop anything. But then when I bring it up, it's like there was zero communication. So they were fucking in on it and they just didn't want to admit it. So I did the politically correct thing to do, and that is to tell the family members and loved ones of the mentally deranged lunatic that goes around doxing what kind of an actual person he is, and to get him to stop using a computer. And if anybody who watches avidly my content, you would probably know that I'm referring to the YouTuber Zelda Wolfang. I told his grandmother, his mother, and his grandfather all the shitty details of the crap that he was involved with online, the supporting a pedophile, dog fiddler, and a doxer. And he wouldn't walk away from them. Because whatever reason, just because I didn't like the two of them. Just because I didn't want to hang around with people that were doing really shady shit to begin with. So I did the right thing, because he was letting all that shit happen that was dox threats to my friend. They were threatening to show up at his house, end his career, tell his boss the juvenile criminal record that he has, which I thought was fucking stupid because he's an adult with kids now. And it was just fucking stupid petty crap that this man who lives with his grandma, has never worked a job or anything, or has a car or a phone remotely, even wants to do anything with. So, all in all, that guy looks like a fucking idiot now. Because he didn't grow up properly. That's not entirely his fault, it's the system's fault, or his family's fault. I don't really want to say. I could make any fucking number of guesses here, but I just wanted to compare that to this situation. But for SethTheProgrammer, if he's actually remotely involved in people doxing, that's kind of fucking astounding to me that he'd go as far as to threaten his friends because they wanted to walk out. I it seems like there's something more going on here, and it's not just... And I loved hearing this, too. Whenever I hear pedophilia accusations slung the fuck around during doxing, I laugh at it, because 9 out of 10 times it's incorrect.
Had any idea what kind of trouble that he has caused other people over the years, this wouldn't surprise you even a little bit. To add to Seth's doxing tendencies even further, as I'm...
Like, am I supposed to trust the YouTube channel with 3K subs? Or am I supposed to trust a channel with 938K? You know? So this is another one. He's got a whole fucking timeline. What the fuck? Use this theme. Like... this is kind of surprising. He was apparently asking people to make him videos.
To make sure it was done right, and he said himself that he only trusted me to supervise the Star Wars video, which I think someone called Crisis worked on. He wanted me to make sure that it was me that had the final say on the video, so he obviously did have high expectations of my ability to look after his videos, because I clearly treated them really fucking before. Also, with my current mental health, right, younger, so that's the reason...
I'm trying to find it.
I've been a bit of a bitch about it too. I should have stood up way many people. That's the truth. When he stopped talking, I had to make a completely new Twitter and Instagram to purge all connection with him. If you guys could, by the way, follow my social media to help me regrow those, I'd actually reduce a lot of my stress.
Where's the part?
And now that he got so much flack over Naruto versus Ichigo being randomly cancelled and no one getting their money back, he took a little break while it all blew over, threatened the main animator, and abused him. You can also see that since being disconnected from myself, how the content has dramatically decreased in quality from my own, which he would always tell other editors to mimic or do better. I've seen and heard countless conversations where he would try to start editor fights between like myself and MJ, or recordings and emails that I have where I went to the police to take care of this situation, right, to get rid of him. The only reason Seth disliked him so much wasn't for the obvious reasons we'd all expect. It was because of some dispute they had over audio work. And don't worry, if I need to defend myself on this situation, I 100% will, because I have all the emails, all the recordings, all the evidence, and I will not be blamed for the fact that one of the guys I met in your server, Seth, turned out to be a pedophile who was doing audio for us on the side. To mention this again, you'll also probably think that it's weirdly similar.
Okay. After hearing all that, one, I have nothing against Clyde. I think Clyde's an okay guy. Although you shouldn't be working at Little Caesar, you should try to aim a little higher up the bar, but that's on you. Trying to make a full living on YouTube is not a reliable source of income because of the fact that, depending on the season of the year, a lot less people, believe it or not, will use social media. Around wintertime, a lot of people will go to social media because they don't want to talk to their family. When it comes to like Christmas season or Thanksgiving, they don't want to sit there and talk to family. They rather watch YouTube videos. But when it comes to around like springtime, you're lucky to see anything, because most people, like in the beginning of the year, most people are busy working to get their income back, and they don't want to sit down on fucking YouTube and watch YouTube videos all day. That's the reality of it. Do I think that it's kind of weird that this guy would complain about a pedophile voicing something? I mean, one, did you know he was one beforehand? And two, what was the evidence to point that he was? Like, when people say pedophile, it's like, are they actually driving out across state lines across the U.S. to meet the kid and get physical? Or is it just like, oh, like, are they like 16 or 17, and they're basically the guy's like, I'll wait until you're an adult. See, that's grooming, which, that's also kind of looked at as bad, but like, they're waiting for adult consent. So here's the thing. In New Jersey, there's Megan's Law over here in my state. And the way it works is New Jersey actually looks at a 16-year-old as a physical working adult because they can pick up a job at 16, even 14 sometimes, at very rare locations under the table. But they look at 16-year-olds like, oh, they can work a job under labor laws, and they're able to make somewhat decent decisions as an adult, but they're not a full adult. So they gray line between 16 and 18, where it's like, okay, they understand what it means to be an adult. Just give them a couple more years, and they give them this thin little line where it's acceptable, but not acceptable. And it's very weird. So when you say pedophile, is this guy like actually physically going out, or is he just acting like a weirdo to underage kids and just trolling? Like, anybody could fucking do that. I could get on audio right now and oh yeah, you want to come on down to my cell later for some popsicles? I could pull a fucking Family Guy Herbert and just fuck with people online. Does that make me one? No. That's just me fucking around with people, realistically. So I don't know what the case may have been. What if Seth had done unironically a Herbert versus Peter or something? There's something fucking like Herbert versus Drya Sensei. Yeah, it's just something complete no context just to be fucking hilarious. And you wouldn't want to get somebody realistic enough to sound, good enough to do that. And so what? He turns out to be a fucking creep. You know how many people are fucking weird that end up getting TV shows and popular? Justin Roiland. He just recently got fired. That guy's a nut job. And you know what? He's a good content creator, though. Because he made a multi-million, almost fucking billion-dollar fucking brand. So you think about it, like, come on. It's a no-brainer. Let me see if I can find something else from this. There was something I was looking for in this.
John had to deal with Essence. It's pretty. Download it and share it everywhere. I would like his story to be told. Into a corner.
So there's multiple bits of this. I don't want to go over all this evidence. I'm not going to sit here and fucking, analyze the shit out of this, because I could sit here all night. I'm not going to sit here and analyze and try to figure out 4 hours of video clips that could have very, very much been easily condensed into next to nothing if it's been worked on for years coming. Like, I feel like this could have been a lot more condensed and simplified, and, like, here's the video evidence of, him involved in this shit. There was a clip, I don't know where the fuck it is, but it was basically some random ass guy. Here it is. I'm trying to find it. This apparently was going on in Seth's server or some shit. But you look at how blurry this fucking video is too. Like, I can't. This is private talk.
Leon, he's my neighbor. Leon, chill. Chill, he's my neighbor. No, Leon. Leon, you don't. No, let me go. Let me go.
You're the kid with AT&T Wi-Fi, right? If you mess with Jade again, hold on. If you mess with Jade again, I'm gonna have your internet offline. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? You see how that little Wi-Fi logo is going offline on?
See, Mr. Flynn, my client is clearly.
Everyone's excited. Justin, you see how your little Wi-Fi? You see how your little Wi-Fi logo?
So here's the issue here. Just like listen to this, like, I don't physically see this as necessary because it's blocked the fuck out with all this text. And the closest thing to an owner is some dude with 2 X's for a name. Like, it doesn't tell me much to go on here.
Jade again, it's not gonna come back online. Do you understand? You think this is a joke? I know how to do this. I've been doing this for years. So you're gonna apologize to Jade, or you're not getting.
Oh my god. This is not my client.
Your honor. Your honor. What is going on?
Do you understand? Yes or no?
Roy, just step back. Just step back.
So, Justin, are you gonna?
I don't have a VPN, so I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, you're right.
No, you
Leon, you
good,
go
bro.
ahead.
I don't do that.
Yeah, Leon, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's not how it works. So, Justin, are you gonna apologize, or do you want me to keep going? I
Just,
can turn it back. I can turn
I
it.
can't make out what that says.
I can turn it back. sorry, I can just turn your back on. Okay, good. So next time we learn a lesson, right? We don't threaten to dox people, especially if we don't know what we're doing. The difference between me and you is I've been doing this for a very long time. So if
Have
you ever,
experience, you said.
so if you keep on, messing with Jade, this is what's gonna happen. You don't get internet for the rest of your little break that you're off of, and this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna write a 5-page apology if this happens again. So what I want you to do now, so I stop, I want you to delete your Discord account in front of everybody right here. Go ahead.
Wait, back up. Yeah, Leon, back up.
Okay, this is kind of fucking weird. Like the ambient music that this guy selected for the clip just it feels so fucking cringy. Again, there's nothing indicating to this that these people are associated in any way to a server that Seth owns and is in. It's just people that Seth happens to know. And I get you're trying to connect the 2 and 2 together, though, but you need to show the connection, and I don't see the connection between this random fucking dude that I don't know as a viewer to him. You know, like, if you had them not just sitting in a group call together, because anybody could add it to a group. If you had them in a server together, if you had images of the individuals together in one server, that justifies it. I have images of my old fucking X3 friends in a Discord server together looking like a bunch of idiots while they were doxing. Realistically, that's all you need as evidence, is them in a group. So, I mean, I don't know. Looking at this...
Let me let you know right there. I don't do this, but hey, look, me and my on the deep web earlier, we buy guns on this. You do not want to do that, bro. You do not want to do that, bro. Be very careful who you mess with, because it's not very hard to go ahead and get sent a bunch of shit to your house, right? Shit that I don't even have to pay for, that niggas will come do shit to you for. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn your back online.
For being one, was slandered, embarrassed, overall run through the mud by a large portion of the community thanks to Seth's actions. As I said before, Seth refuses to take accountability for any of these things. He refuses to do it because he is an egotistical narcissist. He refuses to take accountability for the fact...
Yeah, Seth just sounds like Zelda Wolfang character. He just refuses to take responsibility for life, friends, and all actions. So, if you know he's like that, and he might be a likable guy, why don't you just walk the fuck away from him, and leave him in the dark, and just tell his family and walk away? That'd be the easiest solution. Put him in a state of mental confusion where his family looks down on him, and his friends look down on him, and then walk out. You don't even need to make a gaslight video. Just say it to his closer inner family and walk away. Like, look, I don't want to associate with him anymore because he's basically being a piece of shit. Let him live the majority of his life wondering why he's a piece of shit. And then he could realize when he's on his deathbed, oh, I'm a fucking idiot. That's all you really need to do in this situation. But unfortunately, you guys decided to make these near 4-hour long video clips. I think this has something in it.
And I was like, that's not like a normal thing to say to a friend whatsoever. Like, or even in... I'm sure he's got so many secret recordings of me, which he's going to probably release and be weird, but we've debated, for example, we once debated over the Kaha Nagashionn, which he wanted to upload and try to get brownie points of, hey, look, I beat the Bleach guy. Like, it was such a weird thing to do, because I was his friend, and he wanted to get that dub over me, which was, it was honestly borderline casual fucking conversation, which he was wrong about. He took the stance of, well, if you throw the Kaha Nagashionn dice at someone, they get sealed regardless of where it is. And I said, no, because why did Grimjar put himself in danger to open Ukiyo's clothing to put it inside the hollow hole where the soul chain is located? That was my argument. And somehow I lost that, apparently, but there you go. In 2021, we debated on Francis Ngannou and if he could beat a strongman, which was just fucking ridiculous, and I dropped it, as I said before, and it was in front of Noodles, and he can attest that I was winning that. He would have been salty as fuck. I mean, me even saying this in a video was going to be
so
whatever, I don't care. It's just...
Let me get this right. you guys in private were debating a cartoon illustrated up basically by a very well-known writer and had an argument to the point where it extended beyond just an argument of dispute about the character, rather yourselves. Can you see how that wouldn't work? How much it would have been easier to just walk the fuck away and leave Seth in the dust and let him find new friends that are, involved with doxing. Which, if Seth's involved with doxing, you should have walked away fucking years ago. That should have been your first instinct, was to walk out. Anybody that supports that type of shit is an issue. When it comes to the whole pedophilia claims, I do my best to ignore it even in my own community and the people I know, because half the time, most of the shit's made up by gaslighters. And half the time, the justifiable ones, the actual real ones, you'll know immediately because somebody will send you an image, not just of a text chat or whatever, of them actually buying like plane tickets to go out to see these fucking people, these kids, and, actually have a record. And that's when you say, all right, you gotta go. You gotta go. But like 9 out of 10 times, I see the word pedophilia slung around like a joke. And it's, to me, personally, it's kind of fucking gross that people use that as a gaslighting term. So far, I'm not gonna analyze any of this shit. Apparently there was a pedophilia thing slung at fucking Seth, but I'm not going to sit here and investigate that, because this is a fucking 4-hour-long piece between the two of them. There'll probably be more in the coming week. I don't give a flying fuck about this. I just find this kind of fucking dumb. Like, to Noodle and Clyde, I have no issue with the both of you, but, like, why don't you just get a hold of Seth's family and literally just let him know that he's involved with a bunch of fucking people doing really illegal shit, and then rather post these 4-hour-long videos that nobody's gonna be able to sit here and watch entirely. Not a grandpa, not a judge, and definitely not an entirety of a YouTube community, because most YouTubers only look at shorts nowadays. They don't sit here and want to watch 30-minute clips even. They don't even want to watch an hour clip. I'd be lucky to sit through this entire fucking shit show. I can tell you right now, they won't. Nobody wants to. So not even your grandmother would want to fucking see this shit. Like, think about it. Clyde, Noodle, would your own family individually, want to see these hour-long clips of you complaining about a guy doing illegal shit that you've been friends with? Think about it. Just think about it. It's a no-brainer, right? Like, why even bother? Go for his family instead of letting him dox yours. Just go after his. Don't just dox the family. Just contact them and be like, yo, look, this is the kind of illegal shit that he's been involved in. We have the FBI involved. You gotta watch your son. Your son's being a fucking idiot. That's it. Case closed. Done. He fucks off. He goes to another planet. He never bothers you again. Because you know why? You went toward his family, and his family looks at him as a piece of shit. Now, if he's disconnected from family, that's at the point you just go to the feds and you walk away. It's real fucking simple. Real fucking simple. Unfortunately, that just did not click with, I guess a guy that works at a Little Caesars. I mean, I shouldn't be sitting here mocking your job. I apologize, but like, you gotta work a little higher up on the bar when it comes to your real job versus YouTube, which YouTube's not stable. It's never a stable income. Because eventually you'll run out of content to make. I mean, to make a comparison here, just look at, Angry Video Game Nerd. His content's going down the shitter. He's run out of content to realistically do. Even though he has hundreds of games in his little basement from his collection, realistically, I will say that because of Screenwave being a pile of shit and doing all his writing, his content's gone down the shitter. And he doesn't have time to write his own content, apparently, which I think is a fucking terrible idea. If he was writing his content before and it was good, why the fuck exchange it for a poor writer just to be lazy? You know what I mean? Like, you can't expect a shitty writer to get better with time. Like, it doesn't work like that. When you start writing, you're already good. You already know you're good, but unfortunately, AVGN has become like fucking Linus Tech Tips doing his little advert at the beginning of every video now, and he's not the angry cursing video game nerd that everybody remembers, right? So you make comparisons of this shit very easily, and it doesn't take a fucking monkey and an idiot to figure out and put two to two together and be like, oh, okay, this shouldn't mix. But unfortunately, James is a moron sometimes. I don't know my other thoughts on this. Let me switch back to my camera, because, I'd rather be seen when I'm sitting here doing this debate. Do I think that Seth is in the wrong? Yeah, I think he is. Do I think Noodle and Clyde are in the wrong? No. I think they're doing the right thing, both of them, but I feel like the both of you could probably, like I said earlier, instead of just doing this 2 hour, 1 hour long gaslight, but 4 hours long altogether, why not just contact his family or the feds? You know, like, you got all this shit together, instead of extending this out long, and a lot of them just like bullshit complaints, like, oh, he made me stay up all night and edit, and you were trying to get a cut of his money, basically. Or maybe you were just helping out, and, that it came to that, but, like, if it felt like that, and you weren't getting paid, you could have just easily told him to fuck off. Like, you're not required to do this shit. Like, my wife could come down here and ask me, do you want a drink? And I could tell her, no, I don't want a drink, but she still goes and gets me one anyway. It's called an option. You could do it out of the goodness of your heart, or walk the fuck away from the matter, or you could just sit there like an enslaved bitch, basically, and just do it anyway. Which, if you're doing that because of friendship, that's just fucking stupid. That's a one-way street. He ain't doing anything for you. He ain't stroking your cock at night, is he? Not really. So, now as for this, the pedophile shit, like there's a pedophile in a server, I don't know anything about that. That one is just up in the fucking air. I couldn't, I'm not going to sit here and analyze that 4 hours of the bullshit that I skimmed through, because that is already far too long for most people to want to sit down and watch. Like, your fan base individually, Clyde, and Noodle, if you have a little bit, they're probably going to be looking at that and going, what in the fuck is this? This is too long for me to want to watch. Skip, next video, put me on a cat video. It's going to be one of those things that nobody's going to want to watch, nobody's going to want to sit down and see entirely, because it has been shortened or edited. Especially Clyde's, which is like 2.5 hours. Like, it just sounded like, it was mostly complaints about editing and, like random Discord snippet photos that were taken, which just show usernames and IDs, but it doesn't actually show, like, Discord IDs, which Discord IDs are like the physical, where they signed up, what they were doing, and what the original name was. And if you have a Discord ID, that can determine with the feds immediately what the person was doing, what computer was used, where it was, and all that shit. All that shit's on a Discord ID. And, if you weren't recording that, then that was pretty dumb. But again, I'd like to think that the friends that I have, I don't have to worry about that, so I don't record their Discord IDs. I only take Discord IDs from people I don't entirely trust. I jot them down, I put them to the side, I put them on a WordPad, I associate their name with that, and then I walk away. And if I don't think they're a piece of shit after a year, I remove it from my WordPad file, I move on, I go to the next thing. Because there's a lot more things that I could be doing with my time that is more productive than, ultimately sitting down and watching a fucking near 4 hour long tirade from two friends complaining about another bigger YouTuber online that they kind of wanted to scalp off of. They wanted to just collab to get some aberration going, but yeah, if they're buying weapons off the dark web too, that's kind of fucking weird, but like I said earlier, this is not something your community would want to see between all three of you. I don't fucking care. I'm just sitting here in the background, kind of fucking laughing at the entire scenario, because it realistically could have been handled a lot better. But again, like, you wonder why people on TV, like TV stars and directors, don't do this kind of shit when they get mad. They don't put on a tirade on live TV or live television and basically fuck up the scene. Because that's basically what's going on here, you know? Like, whenever you're on YouTube, you gotta remember, you know, you're the equivalent of your own fucking TV star, basically. And, I mean, that's not true, but close to it. Right? Very close to it. I don't know. I'm gonna end my podcast. This is episode fucking 38. You know, I didn't want to do this one, realistically. I just felt like this was kind of weird to watch and sit down and, you know, considering the fact that I've watched this guy over the years, and now to find out from all these other anime YouTubers that have been working collabing with him that there's all this suspicious shit going on and there's doxing. Like, my thing is, if you're involved with doxing and I can prove it, I walk out on you immediately. I don't stick around. Because if you're willing to allow illegal shit like that to fly where people could get swatted and die, you know, for the fucking smallest of reason, get the fuck out of my life, man. Go to federal prison. I don't care. Do not pass go. Do not collect $100. You can collect get banned from YouTube, get banned from social media, and get banned from everything like Donald Trump and fuck off over a wall. That's how I look at that. Now, that might not be a popular decision, and that might not be a popular thing for me to say. I like to say what's on my mind. Like, for example, I don't mind the gender equality. Like, if you look up one of my recent tweets, my tweets, sorry. I'm slurring my words here because I'm a little tired. I just woke up. I tweeted something. It was very interesting. Here we go. Let me pull this up. And this is irrelevant to this episode. I just wanted to show this to be like show what kind of person I am. There's this tweet right here. I'll blow it up a little bit if I can. Make it easier to see. Like, I won't fucking hold my words back. I'm like, this woman literally just goes up to him basically and just slaps the shit out of him. He's just sitting there chilling, right? He's lounging back. He's like this. You know, minding his own business, hanging out with friends. And this uppity girl that's mad decides to get physical and literally just right across the face. And then you don't expect to get knocked the fuck out back. She gets knocked the fuck out. He passively walks away. He's like, I don't want anything to do with this. Fuck off. You know, I'm out. And then she fucking charges him. Like, you know who the instigator there is. Twice. You know, it's the one scene. Let me pause it at the exact moment. I want you to look at this man's body language. And this really tells you what gender equality looks like, right? That. He's just like, I don't want any of this. Look, oh, see that? He did not give a fuck. He's just like, look back. He's like, oh, you know what? Fuck you, I'm out. Leave me alone. And I'm pretty sure that's what he said in another fucking language. But listen, when we get to the state of this is basically going to be the new YouTube. And I'm going to hate it. I'm going to mock anybody that, you know, remotely fucks up like this. So, that's just what I wanted to show. I think Seth fucked up. I think Clyde fucked up. I think Noodle fucked up. But I'm not going to sit here and disrespect any of them or their fan base. I just feel like that could have been handled a lot better, you know what I mean? And anyway, that's the end of my SuchBullshit Podcast, episode 38, where I'm just talking about the shenanigans that is YouTube. I've worked with the FBI before, you know, when it comes to doxing, and every time I see any kind of bits and pieces of such thing online, the first thing I try to do is figure out who's in the fucking wrong, and then try to sit there and support it. But this time around, I don't even want to overanalyze this, because this just seems like a personal shit show that could have been handled a lot better, you know what I mean? So, yeah, there isn't anything to go on here. Yeah, it's unfortunate.